Holidays of the Jewish people. Celebrations of the Jewish people, whole history of secular traditions there, by invisible thread connects them, scattered around the world. People, nation. Immortal holidays of Jewish people. People live centuries. In the centuries, their freedom. Passover, the introductory part. In bright spring month of Nisan, great holiday given to us by God. In ancient kingdom Judea, 8 centuries before the Common Era, it was known about this holy holiday. Vivid, full of beautiful customs and rituals, Passover lives for centuries. The Jewish people reveres, remembers, cares in their hearts. Great holiday.
Chapter 1. The house is shining. Tables are set. The cup of wine for the prophet Elijah in each house, where a great holiday lives prophet, comes only for a short time, but still comes in. Fireplace blazes with cheerful fire, damask tablecloth, glasses of wine, loaves of unleavened bread, matzah. Songs, poems sound, glorify the Creator. Cushions lie comfortably on the chairs. Lit candles gently flicker. There is a Seder, order, the ancient rite. Gala dinner on the first night of the holiday. The top of festive ceremonies. The feast of those who were released from slavery. Hope for those who continue to be in captivity. Chapter 2. Everyone is sitting at the table, carefully listening to the child. The 4 questions are bakashas. Youngest in the family leisurely asks, why is this night different from the other nights? Why substitute bread with matzah? Why do we eat bitter herbs? Why recline on soft chairs? True, interesting story of Haggadah will give us the answers to these questions about the ancient rite. Our ancestors were slaves. The tale so begins. It transports us mentally to those biblical days of past centuries, Egypt, steep banks of the Red Sea. O Slavery, the main part, Chapter 1. Glory of Egypt flies through the years. Pharaoh erected the cities, sumptuous palaces without number. The rich tombs of the pyramid, full of grandeur and triumph. A country ruled by the pharaohs. The power passed from generation to generation. Turn of the 19th dynasty came. Ramses II bids. Great Pharaoh of glorious Egypt, he is endowed with the unlimited power. Waters of the Nile sing of the wonderful land of Goshen. Generations of shepherds from the land of Canaan settled there. In period of furious famine, forefather Jacob, Israel, headed by an ancient race. For many years, the race has prospered along the shores of the Nile. From a clear sky, sun was shining for them. People worked on the generous soil. Their cattle grazed. Who could have known about the trouble? 13th century goes, before our era, tribes wander. They do not know the faith. Like a skillful creation of the Creator, Egypt boasts of splendor. Pharaoh's vanity has no end. Evil hearts are filled with cruelty, and heartless ruler seeks to take peaceful people in slavery, in captivity. Oh, slavery, anyone would be afraid of such a fate.
Chapter 3. Foundling grows up in a royal family, surrounded by attention, luxury, concern. Great Pharaoh, playing with him, puts Moses at the hands. While playing, Moses takes the crown from the royal head, trying it himself with a laugh. Kid, carefree, cheerful. But alas, the priests watched Ramsey funds. They worried for good reason. Suddenly grown-up Moses wants to take away the power, seize the throne of the Persian king. Possible trouble, terrible trouble. More better to kill kid. Without waiting for an evil misfortune, the priest tried by the court, the sages of the palace held council, how to save the throne of the king. To avoid a mistake, a test was ordered of Moses. They placed in front of him 2 bowls. One sparkles by gold, the other blazes by hot coal. Only Moses looked on a beautiful golden bowl as the angel of God, Gabriel, quietly beckoned the child, sent the baby's hand to the hot coal. Child raised hot coal to his mouth, burnt by coal, falling ill. His speech became infringed. The years rush.
Chapter 4. Moses matures and sees his people die in captivity. The essence of youth, his blood is outraged. Moses banished by all-powerful Pharaoh from lush kingdom forever. He cast into the desert without food or shelter, but his spirit is invincible. Invincible stamina, strength of mind, cup of sufferings drained to the dregs. Freedom leads hero to the historical achievements. Mount Sinai. In meditations, Moses there dwells. In thought, his people in captivity and deprivation. But what to do? How to help? He thinks day and night. Suddenly, the thunder of heaven broke. In front of youth, God appeared by burning bush and said, "My elected people should be released from slavery to no longer suffer." Duty entrusted to Moses. With brother Aaron, he petitions the Pharaoh. But the stubborn, deaf Pharaoh did not know the God of Israel. He had never heard. In a sign of punishment, God revealed 9 executions to the Egyptians. Water of Nile turned into blood. Locusts, frogs, darkness all around. But Pharaoh, adamant in his perseverance. After the 9th was sent down 10th execution. Angel of death visited Egypt at that time. Went around the homes of Israelites. Israel's children, blood of the Lamb was labeled on the doors. Ruthlessly killed all the firstborn of Egyptian mothers. Hitherto, the ruler had not seen a more terrible disaster. He gave his own consent, released the slaves on the memorable 15th day of Nisan.
Chapter 5. Israelites gone out of Egypt, there were many. 600,000 men, women and children with them. Freedom! What could be better in the world? But Pharaoh, bethink he forgot about the terrible punishment, sent valiant soldiers in pursuit of those who were delivered from the disgraceful bondage. People without rest went and went, hurried away from the terrible place. God wants to help the fugitives. Lead them to the Red Sea. By the Red Sea, which was called Reed, a miracle happened for them. Freedom for slaves. Sea waves that raced, careless, playing by foamy crests, suddenly parted, divided, providing the dry bottom. Former slaves by column reached the other shore, directed after them. Pharaoh, with a huge army, had disappeared forever in the depths of the sea. Cheerfully turbulent, the sea's water closed, and cheerfully wave with the wave is played. On the other shore, the released people rejoiced. The women played homage with delight to the Creator, danced with the sound of song of the prophetess, the sister of Moses, Miriam. The final part. Millenniums passed after those old days, which there is no clearer and there's no more light. We pay praise to the Supreme. We are happy, a house filled with fun. Read saga and enthusiasm, silently drink 4 glasses of wine, trying greens that bitter as slavery. Matzbrei, knedlich, kugel, decorations on the table. It is all out of matzah. Why matzah? Woman in a hurry to escape the bitter bondage, rather baked for the way cakes without salt that were called matzah. Cast from cups 10 drops of wine, cast from cups 10 drops of wine. The number of reductions that overtook the Egyptians in the spring, light month of Nisan. Funny song sound about a kid, Hadgadyah, Eliyahu Hanavi, about the prophet Elijah. We dip parsley in salt water, a symbol of memory about tears shed for slavery, tears of the Jewish people. It's a thrill. Freedom. Celebrating freedom, God gave the holiday to us. Invite to the open door. All the sufferers, the hungry, all are glad to see the prophet Elijah, the precursor to the Messiah. He will not forget to drink a sip of wine. Funny kids, simply divine. Pranksters watch the cup of the prophet. They're curious to know when wine and cup will reduce, and by how much. Prayers audible, charming song of songs, song of spring, wonderful love, song about fact, that winter is past already. Voice of the special bird is heard in our country. We look once again in still, bottomless silence of the night to the ancient land, Seder close to the end. We say with tremulous voice, holy words, let Israel will forever store. L'shana haba'ah b'Yerushalayim.